Hello, everyone. Welcome to YakShaver Sprint Review 41. We have a great sprint, and over the holiday, let's dig into it. So our previous sprint goal was to set up multi-tenancy CI/CD pipeline. So this enables us to provision a tenant database when there's a client sign up. So just let you know, when client signs up, now we are able to provision a database for you. So you get a full database provisioned with privacy and performance not interrupted as well. So this is a 2-week sprint over Christmas and New Year holiday. And we have Stephen, Lewis, and myself worked on the PBIs. So let's go through what we have done. So first of all, this is our goal. The multi-tenancy database now has been set up. So now we have a full CI/CD pipeline working. Next one is done by Lewis.
Hold on. How long does it take to provision a new client?
It will take about 5 minutes to provision a database.
Okay, so when somebody signs up on the website, do you basically say thanks and then send them an email when it's all alive?
It's not done yet, so we are aware of this issue. So our plan is to send the client a notification when the database is provisioned. But however, that's not done yet. But that's in our PBI, and that's in our roadmap.
Okay, all right. After you have a bunch of people that have done this, I guess it's fine to do it for the first, say, 20. But at 20, I think we should change it so that you're pre-creating these environments. And when they sign up, you go, thank you, and you just rename an existing one and give it to them. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, I don't want a 5-minute delay for them to move on.
Right, that will save some time. Yeah, agree.
Okay.
I feel like we should YakShave that. Do you want me to use Snagit?
Sure.
All right, give me a sec. Rick, are you okay to explain that one?
Yep. So what Adam wants.
Wait a sec. Let me start recording.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
We have a new feature for YakShaver. So apparently, when we provision a tenant database, it would take about 5 minutes. That's not ideal. So the ideal case is we pre-provision the database and have it ready. So when a client sign up, we will just rename the database, and that will save more time without waiting.
Yeah. So make sure in this PBI that you record how long it takes currently and how long it takes to do the rename, and so that they don't have to always get an email that says, please wait, and we'll inform you when it's provisioned. It will automatically just say, there you go, all done.
All right, here we go. Done.
All
right, great. Cool. That'll be a PBI in a second.
All right, let's move on to the next PBI. So Lewis has done some bug fix for this one. Lewis, can you give us some updates?
Yeah, so before, when we create a new team and we want to immediately record a video, sometimes it won't pick up because the OneDrive gets created too quickly on production. So, the triggers before the OneDrive is even created on production. So I've just added some retries, so it will try a few times before failing. At the moment, it's only retrying 3 times because we've had a look for the past couple months. It's only failed once. So we just put a bit of a precaution in there just in case it fails again.
Right. Cool.
Is it worth logging when that happened? Like whether you're having it failed twice and it happens on the third, or whether it never fires, because if it never fires and it's a bug in Teams that gets fixed, then you've just got technical debt in there for no good reason.
That's a good idea. I'll write that down.
Cool. And next one. So Lewis has also created YakShaver app, GitHub app for staging environment. So Lewis, can you give us some updates on this one?
Yeah, so this is just to create the staging version of the YakShaver GitHub app. So this allows us to test the installation in staging environment.
Okay.
Is this only for GitHub users?
Yes, it is. So by installing the GitHub app will give us the access to create the issues in their repository.
Right. Should that icon there be the YakShaver icon?
Yes, it should. Because this is quite new. So Lewis, can you also update the icons as well?
And can you also put a link in the description there to a doc on the YakShaver site about this, and we can improve that doc later.
Yep, for sure.
But if I am a Azure DevOps user or Jira user, do I ever come across this?
Yes, you will need to install Azure DevOps apps or Jira apps.
Right. But I will not need to install this, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just not getting the experience of where they would come across this to install it. Like, yeah, I'm just seeing it there, but I'm not seeing the flow of where the user gets this from.
Okay, so now in the they will need to install. So right now in the portal, 1 second, dashboard. When the clients log into their portal, now we have an integration page.
Okay.
Where they, yep. So if they have GitHub repository, they will install the GitHub app. If they have Azure DevOps repository, then they will install Azure DevOps. So that will give us the access.
Okay. All right. And how complete is this portal?
This is still in progress, but we are looking to get the GitHub installation done by this coming sprint.
Okay.
And Tom is working on the Azure DevOps integration.
Okay, very nice. Can you click on settings on the top there in the breadcrumb?
Yep.
Oh, is that the same? Yeah. Why do we have Lorem Ipsum on the settings? Like, you have ChatGPT now. You could even put anything basic in there.
Yeah. We should improve the text here.
Yeah,
so Tom,
as a minimum to do blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah. But if somebody's accepting this pull request, I probably wouldn't accept it until the person put at least a decent effort in there.
Okay.
It's a few minutes in ChatGPT.
Sure. Tom, can you note this down?
And I think the obvious thing to there is I'd put the integrations button underneath the text. Now, I know it's on the left-hand nav, but I'd still put it there.
Okay. Cool. Next one, Stephen. So Stephen has fixed some card inconsistency in the card. So Stephen, can you walk us through what you have done?
Yeah, this is a issue that Adam noticed. We had a inconsistent wording in two different cards. One says a work card has been created, and the other says down email sent by YakShaver. Now I have made them sound the same. It says an email has been sent by YakShaver, and on the other card says a work card has been created by YakShaver. Now they are nice and consistently.
I personally think they both should have just green ticks because they've been done. Does everyone agree with green ticks? Can I get just thumbs up if you agree? or you want different? All right. How about for the other option? Thumbs up if you want a different icon for both. Oh, you voted both ways, Yuli. And you're on mute. Okay, let's just try that again. Who see the very first icon where it says an email? Not there. No, this is the bad example.
Oh,
Yeah, this
This
is
one?
the new one. Yeah,
Mhm.
you've got a different starting of both of them. One's an email, one's a work item. Now, I guess what that does show is it's a different thing.
Mhm.
I'm proposing to put a green tick on both, and you can still keep that emoji next to the actual word, email or work item.
Mhm.
But I see it as something that got completed. You look at it and you go, all right, so it's finished. Great. I don't know what the details are, but whatever it did, it finished.
Okay. Yeah. No, you persuaded me.
Okay, so let's do a vote. Thumbs up if you want it to be a green tick on both. All right. And thumbs up if you want to keep it as it is. 1, 2. All right. I think the others outvoted you too.
I'm already losing, and it's so early in the year. It's
All right.
So what was the outcome?
I think you should put a green tick on both and put the emoji next to the word, like the
Okay.
emoji being email
Okay.
to the left of the word, email and work
Right.
item.
Stephen, can you update the PBI
Yeah,
in the comments?
No problem.
Sure. All right. Let's continue to the next one.
Can I just ask, by the way, I wasn't watching Callum. Callum, what was your vote on that one?
I feel like they should be different because conceptually there's a difference between sending an email, which is sort of a final action that can't be moved or changed, whereas if you create the PBI, you can always sort of just move it to a different backlog or something like that. So that's why I think they're sort of different actions, but I don't care that strongly about it, so whatever.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Cool. Next one. So Lewis has done some work on the help command and also some visuals. Lewis, can you walk us through what you have done?
Yep. So basically updated the cards. So the hello and welcome card now has a bit more information, and there's some buttons that you can just click to turn on or off. So it just makes it a bit easier for them to turn it on and off. When they turn it on and off now, there's also a link to the docs, and I've just updated the text to be in line with on and ask now. For invalid commands, there's now a prompt to get the user to show the available commands, and the help is in-depth, just everything that we have. So like the docs, the video, and all the commands that YakShaver has at the moment.
Right. Cool. Any questions?
Who gave this a test pass?
I spoke to Luke Mao for some advice on this.
Okay. And yeah, but who gave it a test pass once you finished it?
I think it was Stephen.
Okay. Stephen, did you give it a test
Yeah.
pass?
Yep,
Yeah.
Stephen.
Okay. All right. Just make Lewis try to make it clear when people give you a bit of feedback. All right. Is that a
Yeah.
test pass, or do you want me to do it and come back to you? Basically
Okay.
a test pass with changes, but be very clear that
Mhm.
it's been reviewed properly.
Yep.
Sorry, Adam, to interrupt. Can I drop off? I've got the SSW rewards issues discussion for NDC. Or do you need me for this?
I just think this is more important. It's up to
Is
you.
it?
You decide.
Okay.
So,
No,
yeah.
if this is more important to you,
Well,
then
this is
fine.
they've just got the multi-tenancy working in YakShaver. It's good for the public.
It's not
Okay,
quite.
awesome.
It's not quite. Well, the back end of that is done. There still needs a bit more work on the portal.
I just think we do need a solution architect.
Yeah,
check
that's
what's
fine.
going on. Yeah.
Seth is there, so I'll just message him and say just to keep me updated with what they're discussing.
Right.
A tip for you, Lewis. I had a client call today with a couple of the guys from China, and the tone of voice you answer a question with when you go up at the end, the tone when you go, I think it was Stephen, sounds like a question, sounds like you don't know. And the client came down on me and the developers quite hard. You don't know. So just be careful of your tone of voice if you're not sure, because it
Also
can,
saying I think it was is also a bit of a giveaway that it's not sure.
yeah.
But yes.
It's a little trick. I've seen that, something that's as innocuous and as subtle as a tone of voice change the whole tenor of a conversation. So be careful. Sounding
Fixing it.
short,
Students will have then a problem.
even if you ask for give me a minute, let me check, is better than going, Stephen?
Noted. Thank you.
I just I thought I'd raise it because it actually happened today.
All right. Cool. Let's carry on. So we have gone through the PBIs that are done in this sprint. Let's move on to the code coverage. We have we used to have 16.6% covered. However, now it's gone down to 6.1, slightly lower. In the past, we have 2 production release, and the application health, we have no fail requests and 100% availability up. And on the monthly usage, we have seen the Wixie is climbing up. He has shaved 8 yaks, and Adam as well. Adam climbing up as well. And we have Ben Neil start using the YakShaver. That's a good sign.
Can I ask, does anybody want an extra column on their last week's number of shaves?
Yeah, I guess.
The last month's, yeah.
Yeah, you can see some difference, like if it's going up or down or whatever.
All right, Stephen, can I ask you to jot that down? Yeah, basically, you're going to put an arrow up and down once you've got the second column of the prior month. Yep.
Cool. Regarding the product roadmaps, we have 5% increase in the client tenant setup and a 3% increase in the improvements MVP feature. So our main focus is still on the client tenant setup, and I think we are working hard on it, and there's still lots of to do.
Yeah, a quick thing on that, just roadmap wise, we looked through the remaining PBIs in there, and a lot of the PBIs in that epic are non-MVP. They're little things like if the user wants to change which AI model they're using or which speech to text model they're using, like kind of nice to have stuff that isn't really necessary. So, and also the full PBIs that are required to get that fully done are not all there yet either. So Rick, if possible, during this sprint, try and flesh that out a bit more, so the next time we have sprint review, we get a better vision for what's actually remaining on that epic.
Yes, will do.
Thank you.
Next one, in terms of R&D, Tom has gone through the Azure DevOps documentation about the OAuth app integration. Let's move on to the sprint retrospective. So what went well? So the overall usage.
I just want to ask the devs, in the last 2 weeks, has your use of AI in your coding increased in the last 2 weeks versus the 2 weeks before that? So if you just think of the last 2 sprints you've done in YakShaver versus the 2 sprints before that, has it increased? Can I just ask, Stephen, has it been the same or increase? Is it much?
I think it's about the same.
About the same. Lewis?
Yeah.
I think it's about the same. I don't think it's gone up much.
Okay. Tom?
I'm on a consistent level. I use it frequently. I wouldn't say it's now more or less. I
Right.
keep using it whenever
Okay.
I can.
Guys, that's a really good answer that Tom gave. He added the point that I use it frequently. So even though it's about the same, I couldn't tell from Stephen and Lewis whether you use it much at all. It could be about the same, very low, but Tom's answer included that extra context.
Also,
Rick?
Lewis said, "I think again."
Oh yes.
That's a bad
Lewis,
habit.
stop
That's a
thinking.
bad habit.
He's a thinker.
Yeah.
Let AI
Think
think
less.
for
Think
you.
less.
By the way, Ruby's just come back from Miami, and they said all Australians are annoying because every time they speak, they go up, and it sounds like you just asked me a question. Every statement. Was that a question? Yeah, it's just an Aussie thing. Rick?
Come back, Ruby.
It's the same for me. I've always have GitHub Copilot installed, but I use now. I don't notice it anyway because I get so used to it. Whenever the prompt pops up, I just use it. So I think it's the same for me.
Right. Okay. All right. Good to hear. What about you, Colin?
I use it every day, all the time.
I think.
I think.
You can't increase. All right. All right. All right. Excellent. All right. Let's go on.
Okay, so for the retrospective, what went well? So we have overall usage increased by stuff, and we have good progress on the multi-tenancy and the bugs. Lewis says the TeamSpot has improved the user experience, and YakShaver was stable over the holiday, which is good. Yuli, what went wrong? Yuli said the multi-tenancy is a big bugger, and it's going to take some time to flesh out the things that we need to do. Lewis also said the changing from dynamics to graph has more blockers than he initially thought. What we could improve.
Okay. Sorry, just on those two, both
Yep.
those things could be improved. The first one by Yuli is not like a complete sentence.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what he's upset about. I think he's saying that it's just a bigger chunk of work than he expected.
Mhm.
But it's unclear.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So this multi-tenancy thing, like we're plugging away at it, and often when we don't get progress on something, it's because we're distracted by other features that people want or whatever. That hasn't been the case. So the good thing is, I said we had good focus. We're just working on multi-tenancy. The bad thing is we didn't finish multi-tenancy. We've still got a lot to go, and it's not even fully clear how much left we have to go.
Oh, okay. All right. I've just changed the last bit being, and I don't know how many sprints to go. That would be clearer to read.
Yep, that's fair.
And I don't know how many sprints to go.
Explain multi-tenancy to me in 2 sentences.
Getting clients to be able to use it, not just us.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
That's a pretty important thing.
Yeah, because when we first did the proof of concept, we just did it for ourselves, and now we're like, well, this is great. Everyone needs to be able to use it, but that's a big chunk of work.
Yeah. Now we have in these scenarios just created manual databases to allow clients to go on our products, but this one, if it's to get really popular, we need to automate this whole thing quickly and make sure the experience is good.
Yep.
The second comment there says Lewis changing from dynamics to graph. I'm a little bit unclear what that is. Is some graph API? Is that
Yeah,
the
it's
Microsoft
just a
Graph
PBI
API?
that I'm working on.
But what's dynamics and what's the graph API? Is this were you storing stuff in Dynamics 365?
So we're currently using CRM to get our user data, like nicknames and GitHub profiles. And we want to change it to use graph, so it's more, you don't, like the client doesn't specifically need the CRM set up. There's a lot of details in there. That's a
So
the
you guys
documentation.
made a dependency on Dynamics that you had to have Dynamics to use YakShaver?
No, it's not required.
So for SSW, it uses Dynamics for projects and people. But for
Yes.
clients, we wanted to be able to use Dynamics or anything else, just an Excel spreadsheet, whatever. So we have a whole bunch of PBIs to give multiple different users, like data sources for all that stuff.
Right.
And the first cab off the rank was the graph, because if we can use that, then that solves most people's problems.
Okay. Can you put a prefix on that, on Lewis's one, which is projects config?
It's people. It's people, not it's users.
Oh, people config. Oh. Probably
You can say
okay.
users if you want. I'm sure.
User config. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good.
And what we can improve is we're going to do YakShaver CTF soon.
Is it ready for a CTF and Turing Fat?
Yeah, I think so. Like, as in anyone at SSW can use it, has been able to use it for ages, and it's very stable now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All
right, go for it.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Exciting.
Nice. So that's all the review and the retro. Let's move on to the.
Hold on.
Oh.
I think we should do it when people can create their own tenant for themselves.
Oh, we'll have to wait.
Yeah, I think we should wait for that. Just put in brackets, wait until people can create their own tenant.
So are you going to ask for everyone at SSW to create their own tenant, are you?
No, but I think people that haven't used it should just use it. People that have used it should test it out by creating their own tenancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sense?
I think that should be 2 CTFs.
I can do it in one.
I know, but I think it should, because I think that otherwise we're putting like a I don't know how many months, but a long delay on it, because we're going to have to get the whole user experience of onboarding.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess
done.
I was thinking it was 3 sprints out. So that's a good thing. If you're thinking it's months.
I don't know, but Rick, what do you reckon?
Yeah, we still need at least 3-4 sprints to go.
Right.
So maybe a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, then you probably could do a CTF if you can't get it done in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So any more questions?
No,
That's all good. Let's move on to the planning. So our spring goal is to set up the client portal on the production environment so that the clients are able to self-sign up. And here's the PBIs that we're going to do. So I'm working on setting up clients on production. Tom is working on the Azure DevOps service integration. And there's also Stephen, I forgot about this one. Could you help me out?
It's about let the container app to be able to figure out which tenant is it serving on. So it's able to choose the correct installation from GitHub, depending on which client is using it.
Right. Next one, implement installation button. So this is Teams integration. So the client should be able to install Teams app when they log in the client portal. Next one, switching user source, user configuration to Microsoft Graph. So this is Lewis is working on. And there's a few bugs that we need to fix. And there's something new, video or audio should be uploaded to YouTube channel. So we decided to put this back in because when we work on multi-tenancy, currently the videos are hosted on YakShaver's SharePoint, and the video link wouldn't work for the client because our SharePoint only works within SSW. So if we upload...
Adam, just quickly for Adam, that's a decision that I wanted to get your opinion on. I know you wanted it to be in YouTube from the start. Because there's sort of a dependency on using Teams. There's not really, you could use it without Teams, but if you want the full experience with the notifications and everything, you kind of have to be a Teams user to use YakShaver. So Teams/SharePoint, similar things, they probably have access to some kind of SharePoint if they have Teams. So we could keep that dependency, or we could get rid of that dependency and dump everything as like all these videos as unlisted YouTube videos. I made an assumption that you would prefer YouTube, so I've said YouTube, but can I double check that?
Yeah, I would think that I'm happy to use Teams with YouTube. I certainly think that's the only way that we should be doing things, so that you can share videos beyond the company. Depends on which type, but
yeah,
I think, you know, GitHub issues that are for a public anonymous code base, they want YouTube videos.
Okay. We can always have an enterprise feature later on if somebody wants to be more secure and have it in a SharePoint environment, as opposed if they think YouTube's not secure enough or whatever. So we can give that as an enterprise thing later if we need to.
Good. Yeah, you can switch around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could say YouTube is an enterprise feature.
Is this only to shave the yak? I don't know, whatever you call it. Is this only to get the information out of the video?
No, this is for hosting the video. So, because you know how the video link goes in the PBI or the email. So when you click on that, it needs to be able to play the video.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay, let's move on. So the next PBI, the last few PBIs are around refactor and sub issues. So those are dependent issues that need to be done. So that's all for the next sprint. Any questions? All good?
That's great. Yeah. So Adam, as you can see, the big focus is still on getting multi-tenancy sorted and getting the client portal set up.
Yes, and that's good. I think the progress has been awesome.
FYI, Wixie sent us a few suggestions in the last week or so. We're not prioritizing any of them because none of them are, you know, they're nice to have. They're cool, they're good ideas, but they're not as important as multi-tenancy at this point.
Correct. But if they're easy, they're low-hanging fruit, there's some hours in them, I think you should do them. You know, it should be, you know, yeah, like you want to, when people try things and they get a little win of a couple of things fixed,
yeah, true.
It encourages more feedback.
All right, cool. Rick, let's you and me make sure we're across them and understand them and see if there's any that are easy to pick up.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. Great work, guys. Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks.
Good job, man.
Bye.